Um, I was talking about Venus and Libra, and I recorded quite a bit actually. So let's get straight back to the topic. I was going to make this video already, but I could not make it while Venus was actually in Libra. So I apologize because I've already completed 11 videos of Venus through the circle wheel going from Scorpio, and everything is actually completed except Libra. So I just came ahead and I just wanted to complete this. But so let's begin. Let's understand Venus. So Venus is the feminine principle, the feminine archetype, along with the moon, and temperament. Okay, so she rules two signs, right? Through Taurus. Taurus is one of the domiciles, as well as Libra. Now she's part of the Earth triplicity, along with Virgo and Capricorn, and she's also part of the air triplicity, one of the triplicity rulers, along with Mercury and Saturn. So I've spoken to you about the decans. So the first 10 degrees of Libra is a part of Libra triplicity, which belongs to Venus. So when Venus passes through those first 10 degrees, she is not only ruling in the house of a domicile, she is also ruling that particular decan. So that gives it a very Venusian taste. And then the second decan is Saturnine because it's the Aquarius triplicity. And then the third decan is more mercurial. So Venus deals with banking, finance, makeup, beauty, and all of that. And Venus in Libra is essentially about I would say interior decoration, because that Venus in Libra just has a perfect sense of, what fits, what's harmonious, what's beautiful. Venus in Taurus understands forms, and then those forms that are more physical, because Taurus deals with the physical world, whereas Libra is is the realm of ideas. Okay, so Venus through Libra is Venus Urania, and she's in Taurus she's Aphrodite. So there's a difference because the way Venus operates through Libra is essentially more cerebral. So a lot of activity in the head. So with Venus in Libra, what can you do to spice up your life? Self is a really important part of the whole Venus and Libra ritual. Because as I said, Venus is Venus Urania. Not only does she like to think beautiful thoughts, but beautifying her space is very important. Because again, there's just something about Venus in Libra and beautifying the home. So you see women with Venus and Libra placements have like fantastic homes, and they also look very beautiful because they have that really beautiful way about them, right? So now Venus is the unifying principle. When you compare her significations to Mars, Mars is the separating principle. Both planets take action, the male, yet the male separates, cuts and burns, whereas Venus is unification. Now when you look at some very interesting, because Venus and Jupiter are two great fortunes. These are the fortunate planets. And that does not mean because you have Venus in Libra in domicile, it's going to be all fantastic for you. You're going to get the money, you're going to get the man you love, the woman you love. No. Okay, oftentimes I've told you that exalted planets can show negative results, yes. So the thing about Venus in Libra is Venus in Libra is very prone to appearances. But that's Libra. They spend so much time in trying to keep up with appearances that the raw semblance, Yet the thing with Libra is that they get so hell bent on setting these little regimes, these little, things that work for them, that ultimately they get stuck in that same quagmire and they cannot get out. So the key to Venus in Libra is understanding that in any planetary archetype, Venus once she enters Scorpios. So immediately we see a very difficult Venus in Scorpio. So here she is ready to look at what's negative, what's problematic. But Venus in Libra is an aesthete, maybe a cineasta, maybe a museum goer, maybe somebody who's into beauty, the beauty business, or somebody who's into, makeup, cosmetics, sorting of hair. Because, just Venus is always looking to beautify the process, beautify existence, beautify whatever, wherever they are. So, like I said, that oftentimes this makes them really hell bent on trying to please people, when that should not be the be all and end all of everything. And that is something Venus and Libra needs to understand. So, even on a date when Venus is in Libra, things can literally shock us because, we are in this really Venus Urania kind of state where we are all in our mind with fantasies and, romantic ideas. And then things don't go as expected and we are suddenly confronted with all this ugliness, and that sort of bleeds into our psyche. So that can be quite traumatic with Venus and Libra, because there's something about Libra that tends to stay on the surface. It's cardinal air. Okay, so there's something about Libra that seeks a lot of balance, that seeks a lot of equanimity. So with that, there's always this need to then keep the balance, right? So, if you're really stressing on just trying to keep the balance, you do not live. For living in your physical body is why you have incarnated. To cry, to love, to hold, to hug, to bleed. Oftentimes, that experience of the soul is lost when Venus is in Libra. Okay, it's great to go for a date when you go to a plush, fancy restaurant, and you're like dressed up in the most beautiful way. You and your date are looking absolutely magnificent, and you eat this 7-course meal and beautiful desserts. Venus also likes sweet things. So you have all these beautiful desserts, and then you go back home in this beautiful car and all that. Yeah, that experience is Venus and Libra, but that's not life, right? That could be one day, one experience. But if you're always looking, especially if you have this natally, then you're always looking to sort of tap into this experience of perfection. And not in the Virgoan sense where I'm going to work hard, I'm going to cut and dissect and all. Think that, okay, it's just going to be perfect. And then when it's not, you tend to get hurt. So that's something to think about. Whereas Venus in Libra is also not very touchy. So, that connection, that first kiss is only going to come once the intellect is really stimulated. So, if you're essential to understand that this is someone who needs to get stimulated cerebrally, whether it's an idea, whether it's a fantasy, whether it's a beautiful gift. Okay, because again, Venus in Libra likes her beautiful luxury things. Venus in Taurus is definitely no common babe, but Venus in Libra is really about that couture. It's really about that, uh, posh lifestyle. That's what they do well. If you look at so many of the models, so many of the media people, actresses have this placement, Venus in Libra. Because it gives that beauty. Libra is a very beautiful sign. It's a masculine sign. It's cardinal air, like I said, but it's got an inherent beauty about it. So that's something Venus in Libra is always looking at. What is beautiful. So there's something that has to appeal to whether it's a transit, then the whole vibe has to appeal to us to go out on a date and then to have the perfect experience. So I think that a mental connection is definitely is going to push the envelope a bit further in the whole situation. Okay, if you're looking to connect with someone at this time, do not get drunk and do not slobber all over them, because they're going to judge you. It's the time to look nice, be nice, and go out and have this really romantic experience, which could be a sort of a fantasy, but then there's just something about it that you will remember for the rest of your life. There's something about it that you will carry forward. So that, I think, is a very special time when Venus comes back into her diurnal domicile of Libra, and we all feel this really tremendous amount of release, because we just had Venus in Virgo. Now, although Venus does have some dignity in Virgo, because this is a position for Venus's fall, because she's exalted in Pisces. So the last decan of Virgo is actually Venus's triplicity rule. So there's a bit of dignity, and then immediately Venus moves on to Libra, which is again the first part of Libra is ruled by Venus triplicity. I mean Taurus, the Libra triplicity. So it's Venus. So there's this really beautiful synergy that happens with Venus in Libra, in the sense of aesthetics, in the sense of the way we dress up, the way we look, the way we present ourselves. It's very important to us to feel pretty, to feel wanted, to feel like we have something romantic to do. Many single people, they feel this Venus in Libra transit quite deeply, because although Venus in Taurus is more touchy feely, it's a more visceral energy, but Venus in Libra likes that perfect night out, that perfect love story. It's they crave for that somewhere. And I think as a part of the collective, we all tune into that energy, because after all, reality in 3D happens because of the planetary rays that solidify, and then we have all these different forms that emanate. So a lot of the information of our galaxy comes from Alcyone, which is a Taurus constellation, which is again ruled by Venus. So we immediately see how Venus is responsible for bringing us the forms that we experience. Because also looking at the five senses, the five petal pentagram of Venus is our five senses. How do we experience the 3D world? Now, another thing to note is the exaltation of Saturn is in Libra. So it's a place where balance and fairness and even philanthropy goes very well. So doing something together on those lines for a date could also be powerful, if you know what I mean. Fighting with justice, for your community, for someone you love. These are things that Venus in Libra is concerned about, as well as, of course, beautifying oneself. So the dates are always very pleasurable, very pleasant when Venus goes through this beautiful airy sign of Libra. Of course, in the second decan, Venus is feeding off Saturn's vibe. But then when you look at it, that's what I was just telling you, that this is Saturn's exaltation, Libra. So when you look at the myths, Saturn creates Aphrodite, Kronos creates Aphrodite. Yeah. So with what happens, that he cuts off the testes of Uranus, and from the froth or semen comes out Aphrodite. So Kronos is directly responsible for the birth of Aphrodite of Venus. This is, of course, allegorical because it means that a Saturn is bringing to us the planetary rays from the seventh planetary sphere. And as he distributes it on Earth, it's through Venus that he distributes it. So Uranus is the abstract space which literally has to be cut and quartered in sexual generation and sexual procreation, and the froth and the semen symbolizes life in 3D, and that is created by Aphrodite. So you immediately look at the myth of Saturn and Venus and you realize how these two planetary bodies actually work together. The greater malefic and the lesser benefic actually work together. Okay, although Mars is the archetypal polarity of Venus, okay, because Venus is the feminine, Mars is the masculine. But I mean, there's such a profound connection of Venus and Saturn. And also, we immediately find that their days are together. We have Friday and Saturday. So, the continuation of connecting to Venus ultimately takes you to the wisdom of Saturn. Because without the wisdom of Saturn, there is no true coherence in forms. And that is what Venus is seeking. Beauty and coherence in forms. And Uranus is abstract space. Uranus is the sole ruler of Aquarius, of Libra. So there's that really profound interplay happening, that manifestation in 3D is primarily centered around these two celestial energies, and we see them come together profoundly in the sign of Libra. But we see that Libra is very busy with putting up an appearance, putting up a face, and oftentimes that can be very detrimental to their own development. This is something to think about, not being a people pleaser, not being a pushover, saying no when no is required, setting healthy boundaries. No, I'm not Libra. No. So there's this real beautiful side to Libra, as I was also saying. There's a really beautiful side to Libra. And when Venus passes through Libra, this beauty comes out. This profound beauty comes out, and it's up to us to tap into it, because that's when we make love, and love that's your understanding of what dressing like a Libra means. I don't necessarily think that I'm dressing like a Libra. No, I'm dressing like a 12th house Leo with Sun and 0 degrees of Leo and Saturn conjunct the fixed star regulars. So no, I dress like a Leo. No, I'm not a Libra. Because like I said, that I don't have that beautiful feminine Venusian energy through Libra either, because I have that Venus in Virgo. And a Venus that is in the Saturnine decan of Virgo. So I have a very Saturnine Venus that is operating. So as I said, that you first have to look at your Venus through the, for instance, if you have Venus in Libra, for a man it'll be what kind of woman he's attracted to. For a woman it will be kind of she is. Immediately you look to whether you have a day chart, you have integrating the archetype of Venus. And like I said, the bedroom is a place of role play, fantasy, deep connection. That's also another domicile of Venus, which I've discussed in detail in this video actually. So there's this beautiful energy of Venus that comes through Taurus as well as Libra. And men and women that have this Venus are very beautiful. And yes, they do usually deliver romance, because it comes to them naturally. Of course, if they have a good, they don't have that Venus conjunct malefic, or even then, actually, oftentimes, uh, when you look at a signification that's negative, it's not always negative. Sometimes, yes, it could be negative, but it all depends on how you channel the planetary rays. So, this concludes my cycle of Venus through the 12 signs and what to do in the bedroom. So so watch my video on 29 degrees, planets at 29 degrees. It's quite interesting to understand that, and then maybe you will be able to understand if you have any complications in your love life, you will be able to understand why, why stars tell you. So you have to be open to receiving that message. You have to be open to receiving that message. Okay, Venus and Taurus is in Venus and Libra, very concerned with commitment. They want commitment. They may flirt, Venus and Libra may flirt, but at the end of the day, if they're committed, they are committed. There's this Taurus, yes, more so than I would say Libra. But even then, Libra can be so committed that although the relationship is falling apart, they like to hold on. Because for them, familiarity and trust, and allowing someone that invitation to come in, even for Taurus, it's complicated. To allow someone to come in, and then to trust someone, it can be quite a challenge for Venus and Libra. So Libra is my dad. So it's like, and my dad is extremely close to me and very close to my no, I'm not Libra, so I mean, and I do not see my energy as Libra actually. To tell you the truth, I've been told by many people that yeah, I do tend to have Libran energy, but it's only if you look at the surface, because I don't have that very Libran energy. I think I have a very I know. Then I would say Saturnine energy, but I don't know actually. It's so subjective and it keeps changing. But Saturn is just about to go on to my lot of fortune. So I will be back with a live after this, after I've got myself some tea, and I will be discussing a very, very interesting topic, which is sidereal versus tropical. Many people are emailing me and asking me about this. Tina, what do we do? Do we listen to tropical? Do we listen to sidereal? What do we do? So, what I think for you is that I am. What do you mean the dress is just there to show off? What does that even mean? I don't understand why people in live say some of the craziest things to YouTubers. So I'm gonna come and I'm gonna discuss with you guys what I think about sidereal versus tropical, or tropical versus sidereal, and put this myth to rest. Yeah, but I'm not a normal Leo. I'm a 12th house Leo. So that means I'm an introverted Leo. And that too, my moon is in Pisces. So yeah, Leos can be show off, but in the tropical system. I'm a 12th house Leo. So I'm gonna go make some tea because I've just had a ton of readings, and then I was all dressed up. So I said, just let me go and oh, beautiful. So let me go and just go live and do this Venus and Libra video, because I was really aching to do this. And I'll be on Facebook for a bit because girls on Facebook won't be there. So I'll be on Facebook for a bit. And then I'll be back here to discuss the sidereal versus tropical. But also if you have any particular astrological questions, you can send me a small donation, and then you can come and write on these comments that Tina, I want so and so discussed. So that will help me keep my channel going. So because I am looking to get my equipment and all of that, so that will really help me. And please donate something if you want a particular topic discussed. And I will be back in about half an hour, say about half an hour, yeah, max. And then we can have a beautiful discussion. But I guess I'll go to Facebook and quickly announce it. And then, if you don't know me on Facebook, find me on Facebook, Tina Heals. Book your readings, book your spiritual consultation. See you. Bye bye. See you.